buongiorno.
Buongiorno. Buonasera, almost?
Yeah, at what point do we stop saying buongiorno?
Noon? 6 p.m.
6?
Good morning. It's 5:55 p.m. Good morning.
But isn't buongiorno a good day?
What is good morning?
That's afternoon.
Buon pomeriggio.
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 Have a good day.
Yeah.
I like to just say, have a day.
Hey, day to you. You see I have a kangaroo pouch?
I've seen, yes. My friend Jared has become a marsupial. And I don't even know what that is.
I don't know myself.
How you doing?
Marsupiola. I'm doing all right.
Marsupiola! This sounds like some sort of soup.
It is. It's
It's marsupiola.
It's Sicilian. Hey y'all.
How many of you were here in March?
How many were here in February when the con happened?
Oh no, I just meant in Rome.
He means how many people are local to Rome? Hey, who was here in January?
It was the last weekend of February.
You weren't here on your birthday, March 1st, in case you forgot. Happy late birthday, Jensen. What was that? What was the... I know what it was. But what was that number that you just saw? Sorry, you talk about...
You all right there, pal?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm curious about...
Your new marsupial outfit's not working out real well, is it?
I'm curious about how old you turn.
How old I turned? Well, let's see. You like math?
I do.
I was born in '88.
Yeah, okay. But I like history as well. That
It doesn't line up with history. Shut up.
Anybody, I feel like I saw an autograph line, some happy birthday messages on some, anybody having a birthday weekend or?
Happy birthday.
It's not this
Happy
weekend.
birthday.
Well, no.
It's near enough.
On Monday.
Well, then you don't get a happy birthday. You can wait till Monday.
We retract that from you.
It was in June.
Just kidding, happy early birthday. Sunday? No, just making sure.
Yelling out days of the week.
Sabato, Dominica. Those are the 2 days I know.
Mercoledì.
See?
What?
Mercoledì. It's one of the days of the...
Wednesday.
It's Wednesday.
Wednesday.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Call that hump day.
He calls it hump day. For me, every day. Never mind. Hi there. Let's before we get ourselves in trouble, let's go to
Too late.
Let's go to the crowd and see what's going on. Red is the color of the day, so let's start over here. Hi there. Buongiorno, I
It
guess.
looks like we've got some lipstick on.
So do you.
Let's switch back to the camera.
Guten giorno.
Yeah. No.
You're like Rudolph, and I've got lipstick on. What's up with the cameras? What's happening? Come on!
I do. My nose is not this red, I don't think.
What is that?
No me gusta. No me gusta. That's Italian for no me gusta. I guess red is literally the color of the day. didn't know what was going
All
on.
right. Well,
Anyways, guten giorno. Come si dice? Come si dice?
Come si dice what?
Sorry. What? It means how do you say? It was a joke. It was a bad joke. A joke. A joke on the
you keep landing those jokes, buddy. Okay. Hi.
Hi. So, Jensen, I think you once said that that you don't like to be tied up on set. And,
That's timing.
because of your vulnerable and kind of other people's mercy. And so my question, mercy.
Oh, mercy.
And so
Squishy.
my question to both of you, what was the worst or most uncomfortable tied-up situation? What's that?
Thank you for clarifying that. Because I have some stories.
Favorite tied-up
Too
situation
much information.
on set. That's great.
To be honest, in my opinion, the most uncomfortable situations being tied up on set were not when we were actually tied up, but it was when we had to pretend for many seasons. It was like the demon does this, and you have to pretend that. And so I think at first we were just trying to kind of like act like how it would feel to be supernaturally pressed against a wall, and invariably, you film. So for an episode of television, you film it, say, in October, and it airs in January. And so you film another one in November and December, and you're tied up. And then in January, you watch what you did in October, and it's like, oh, the ghost pushed you against the wall. And when it airs, you look like this. 12 chins. So like, okay, well, I gotta change that. I want to vomit. But it was more when there were actual ropes around. It felt all right. It was easy to kind of like get into character and get into the timing of the scene and the sequence. But it was more the invisible.
It's also exhausting too, because when you're doing it yourself and you're pressing yourself up against the wall and they yell action, you kind of hold your breath and tighten everything. You're like, and doing that over and over and over again for like minutes at a time, it's not fun. It's like this.
It's like hyperventilating.
It's like, yeah, you're hyperventilating, and then you're straining, you're like, oh, I'm gonna pop a blood vessel. And that was not fun. I will say that aside from that, which happened quite often on Supernatural, I was kind of tied down or locked down on the boys a few times. That was not fun. The one where like the Russians have me in captivity and I'm tied down to like a table and they're trying to see what can hurt Soldier Boy. And so I've got like at Supernatural, we're pretty good friends with the props department. So Robin would tie us up very loosely to where they yelled cut, we would just, get out of our ties. Just like if we got ties around our ankles, we're tied to a chair. Like when, Demon Dean kind of thing. Then you go cut and I would just wiggle out and just, walk away. On the boys, I wasn't as friendly with them. And we didn't know each other that well. So they really locked me into this table. And there was, they were trying these different items to see how, so one of the items they put an AK-47 in my mouth. That, even though I knew it was a fake gun, that didn't feel good. And then to top that, which I don't know how you do, but you can, when you have a skill saw, and it was running, but it just removed the blade, and it was like, and I was like, I don't like it, I don't like it, I don't like it. yeah, you feel pretty vulnerable. Not nearly as vulnerable as coming out of the cage completely naked in front of an entire new crew and new cast. Welcome to the boys.
Welcome to the boys. Thank you for your question.
My question is, before you were working as actors when you were younger, did you have part-time jobs for some extra pocket money or something?
Part-time jobs for extra pocket money. I worked. My uncle ran a small moving company, and I would during the summers would go and do moving jobs in high school. I didn't like it, but it paid pretty good, and it gave me some pocket change, and that was about the only thing I did. I never actually, but I mean, it wasn't like was technically an employee. He was just like, yeah, I'll pay you whatever it was. 15 bucks an hour or something. Come and help move this old lady's couch. So that was the only thing I really did.
Yeah, I between my junior and senior year of high school, I worked at a ranch. I was a ranch hand at Holt Ranch in like Blanco, Bernie, in Central Texas, and you would fix barbed wire fences and cut down cedar forests. And we have these things in Texas called chiggers, and they're these really, really small flies.
They're like mites.
Like mites,
yeah.
and they fly around, especially in cedar. And so they get to your skin and they itch. And when you scratch them, that gives them oxygen, so it keeps them alive. And so my parents would drop me off on Sunday night. I'd work Monday to Friday, get home Friday, they pick me up, and then I would get into my underwear, and my mom would get red nail polish, and I would stand in my underwear in front of her, and she would paint nail polish over where chigger bites were,
because it would seal them in, which would suffocate them.
Yeah, and so all that basically does is makes the chigger stay inside of you and have your body get rid of it. But otherwise, if you scratch it, it keeps them alive, and it gets really bad, and you get sores and stuff.
Did you get extra money for that?
Nope. Nope. I think I got $5.35 an hour. So that was me.
Ranch work is tough work too.
Ranch work. Yeah.
That's not easy stuff, especially like in Texas sun.
Yeah, you can imagine how much I sweat.
Oh,
not good.
that's not fun.
Thank you so much. Gracias.
So my question for you guys is, what do you think would happen if Blood Junkie Sam and Demon Dean met?
They'd be like, you're fucked up? Cool, I am too. They might go party. Blood Junkie Sam and Demon Dean. That's a good question. We've never had this question. Blood Junkie Sam and Demon Dean. My instinct is that they would kind of be like, all right, well, I'm a little off kilter. You're a little off kilter too. Let's go party. I got your back. It would be. It feels like it'd be the same thing of Dean kind of befriending Benny in Purgatory. I feel like they get along, strangely.
Yeah, they probably cause some problems for hunters. Other hunters, they would cause a lot of problems for them. They'd be having. I mean, with Demon Dean, when he was left to his own devices, he was causing issues. So I think if he had a partner in crime, like Blood Junkie Sam, then I think it would just multiply that. So yeah.
But I think Demon Dean and Rebar Sam wouldn't get along. Too soon? No, thank you for your question.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Hi. Now that you're getting on in years,
It's time for a drink. Getting on in you.
I love it. Was it the gray hairs that upset you? Make two, please.
Yes, what's your question?
That was it. You keep going.
What is something you didn't expect from being old or something?
Hang on, let me turn my hearing aid up. What? I can't, can somebody get my glasses? I can't
Either surprise.
see. Here, I think this is orange juice. I can't see real well.
I'm way older than both of you, so don't talk about it.
Well, you don't look it.
Thanks.
Happy orange juice. What occurs to me is hangovers.
Sorry, so now that we're getting on in years, what's something that we, what?
What is unexpected for you, either positive or negative? I think something
Oh, that's a
you
great
get from
question.
getting older you didn't expect when you were young.
When you were young. When you were young,
I don't remember that far back. I mean, we could probably talk all day about this, but
no, because we have to take a nap.
that's true. That's true.
Bedtime is early.
Right. I got dinner at 5. I would say this. When I was, let's say, we'll call 20s being young, or even let's say teenage years, I thought that by the time I was as old as I am now, that I would be. I guess I would have it all figured out. You just as a kid or as somebody young. I always thought that people at that age they've done it all, they've got it all figured out, they're the adults. I still don't feel like an adult. I still feel like that 20-year-old.
Yeah.
Like he's still very much alive inside me. He's just wearing an older suit.
Funny enough, I had a similar conversation, not that question, but I had a similar conversation with a buddy of mine he's 47, and we were talking about life.
So old.
We kind of landed on life isn't one coming of age story. It's a series of coming of age stories. You become a teenager, you're 13 and you're like, well, I'm a teenager now, I'm big. And then you realize you're not. And then you're 16 in America, you can drive. And you're like, well, I can drive, I'm independent, and I can do my thing. You're not. Then you're 18 in America again, and you can buy cigarettes and you can vote for the president. But you can't buy alcohol. And 21, you can buy alcohol. And then 25, you can rent a car. Life seems to be, at this point in time, I'm just 40. He's got some years on me. But I feel like life is a series of coming of ages.
You messed up filter you got going on here. All right. Yeah, it's a series of it's a journey.
It's essentially what you were saying. You meet people who are older, and you're like, oh, well, they're 50. They must have figured out. And then you make it to 50, and you're like, oh shit, I'm still learning. The world is changing around me, so I have to change again. And then you're 55, and you're 60, and you get married, and you're like, okay, this is life. It's not. And you have a kid, and you're like, this is life. It's not. And then you have a second kid, or you don't have kids, or whatever it is. You keep on evolving. And so I feel this is really funny because I turned 40 last summer, and I felt like forgiveness turning 40. Part of me inside, personally, always felt older psychologically than I was literally. So finally at 40, I was like, okay, it's okay to be like a grown-up. I'm still very much a kid, obviously. I still fart in front of my kids and all that. But I felt like it's okay to slow down and like ask for time for yourself. When you're in your teens or 20s or even 30s, it's kind of assumed that like, well, you better be up for everything. And you're like, okay, you gotta take that on. But at 40, I was like, well, I'm 40. I'm married with kids. I'm gonna slow down. So it's been wonderful. I much prefer 40 over 30 or 20 even. So I'm grateful. I have more gray hair, but that's fine.
50 is even better.
Real quick, it reminded me of the story. I sat down the other day. I'm not kidding. I'm not making this up at all. I sat down the other day, and I think I was just tying my shoes. That's what it was. I sat down, put my shoes, tied my shoes, and I looked at my knees. Swear to you this happened. I said, I'm so proud of you guys. Like, I got a little emotional. I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. I stared at him. I was like, I'm proud of you guys. And I felt such just pride. I was like, you guys hung in there, and you're still carrying me. And I don't have any knee pain. Like, and I went and got my X-rays done. I was having some knee pain when we were doing our marathon years ago, and I went to his brother, who's an orthopedic surgeon, and I was like, hey Jeff, you got to check out, like, something's going on with my right knee. And so he did some X-rays and stuff, and he's like, dude, your knees are in really good shape. He's like, you should be good. He's like, it's just you've got some inflammation on your IT band and stuff. So, but yeah, it hasn't really bothered me since. But I did. I got like emotional. I was like, I'm really proud of you guys. You just keep hanging in there.
Thank you. Hi there.
Hi. My question is, do you miss the pranks?
I miss everything. I do, but it's and I get it. Like there's certainly a bit of awe, but in a funny way, he and I had some version of this conversation for years before Supernatural aired its final episode. It's one of those, absence makes the heart grow fonder, and to leave something as it stood that we were so proud of and want more of, there's a certain romance to it. It's like if you're a kid and you go to camp or something and it's 5 days, but you make new friends and you're gonna be best friends forever, and then you go your separate ways. But you're so much better for having had it, and the idea that maybe it can happen again. Which I want. Anyways.
You can't tell me a secret like this and not pick the microwave. Tell me later.
I miss it all. I miss it all. But I don't miss. It's not painful for me. It's like a really, in a strange way, because I'm very nostalgic. I have shit that I should have thrown away years ago. He can vouch for it, whether it's clothing or car sheets. So I miss it, but in a very wonderful light. And hopefully we get to,
I'll say I'll never be happy that it ended, that the show came to an end. I'll never, not, oh, thank God, that's over. I'll never feel that way. But I am very content in how it came to, like, that we did those 15 years, and that we ended. And I'm not talking story. I'm talking the way that we were, like you said, pranks. So I'm thinking about like outside of the way the story, the way that we all walked away with our heads held high, and you know, there was so much love within that set that that's something I'll always be very proud of, and something I will always miss. But it's yeah, I miss the pranks. I miss just walking on set in the morning and saying hi to everybody. I miss getting breakfast at the Green Machine. I miss, you know, going into the hair and makeup trailer and saying hi to all the ladies, and I miss it all. There's so much. I mean, it's a long list of things that I miss doing that I did for many, many years. But it still makes me look back on it, and it makes me that much more proud of what we did and that time that we had together, because it will always make me smile.
Thank you. I'll be quick.
She just threw a list out, like Santa's list of names.
Full Crowley contract.
Okay.
But seriously, this is my first one ever. I came all alone from Croatia, and I met really nice people. So my question is, outside your family and friends, who made like a big impression on you?
Oh wow.
Sorry.
No. Thank you. Welcome from Croatia. I mean that list is as long as your paperwork for I think for both of us. I think yeah. That is a Crowley contract right there. That's what it is. I think I feel like I really enjoy kind of accidental, what's the friendships? Accidental acquaintances. You know, where you come across somebody and you're at the Fiumicino airport going from Terminal A to Terminal C, and it's 25 minutes, and you end up sitting next to somebody, and hey, where are you from? Where are you going? Yeah, it's funny in the world that we live in. When a lot of stuff is going on that is like, hey, go be this guy, or go be that guy, or that girl, or whatever. Meeting people who live more normal lives, and then they hear you're an actor. Last night, Genevieve is here with me. She's in. I think she's in. No pictures, no photo. She's in Florence, I think, today, but. She might sneak by tomorrow. Anyways, we sat down outside of a little restaurant by our hotel, and this American couple sat down next to us, and it was really tight. Like they were, I was sitting here, like our knees were touching each other, even though there was a 2-inch space between us. So we ended up hearing them speak, and someone dropped off the wrong food to them, and said we started the conversation, and they were from St. Louis on their honeymoon. They had no idea who we were, and it was cool. It was like, where are y'all from? St. Louis. Oh, Jen's our sister-in-law, Jen's brother's wife, who just gave birth last week. It's from St. Louis. Yes, healthy baby, healthy mom. But I love that kind of stuff. Like happy accents. Like, oh, you just went to this restaurant and you met this person and you just shot the shit. So I'm consistently and constantly kind of amazed and grateful for people I meet along the journey.
You said other than family and friends?
Yeah.
I mean, as far as like work goes, there's a long list. Kim Manners, Bob Singer, like those are the people that we work with on Supernatural. But then before that too, I got to work with a lot of really great people. When I first kind of started out, I did a show called Days of Our Lives, and on that show, there's a wide variety cast of characters of all ages. And I remember thinking, okay, well, I didn't go to school for this. So what I know is just instinctual. But what I don't know, I have 30 people here that might be able to teach me, might be able to fill in those gaps. And I was just a sponge for 3 years on that show, watching, seeing what worked, seeing what didn't work. Because you can be taught a lot by seeing people do things that other people don't react well to. And I'm like, okay, don't do that. Don't be an asshole. And so, yeah, there's a lot of influence on. Don't be that guy. There's lots of influence on how that shaped kind of what I ended up being. But yeah, to name, there's a long list of people, and I think if you are available to that, it kind of goes back to what we were talking earlier. This is a journey, this life of ours, and it's a gift too. And I think to close yourself off and think that you know all the answers and that you've got it all figured out at any age is wrong. Always learn. Always continue to learn, and learn from those around you, both positive and negative. And I think that if you can continue to do that, then we're all constantly changing and evolving and becoming better because of what we're watching and learning from the world around us. So yeah, you guys have taught me. I learned just from sitting here. Not much from this guy, but from you guys, definitely. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Can you hear me? Okay. And hi, my name is Sheer, and I'm super excited. It's my first time, huge fan. And I'm actually a professional mermaid. And yeah, so my question is...
I just took a picture with a mermaid, like a minute. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
You guys should meet.
And my question is, would you ever consider swimming in a mermaid tail?
I have.
When? Do tell.
Do tell.
No.
Pretty please?
My daughter bought one that we thought it was a kid size, but it was an adult size. When we got it home, I was like, this is gigantic. Like, you could fit your whole body in it. I was like, wait a minute, this is an adult size. And I don't know, I did what dads would do. I put it on, jumped in the pool. I was a merman.
That's amazing.
It was interesting. What? Pictures? No. No. I just read somewhere that the mermaid, there's an industry that is like multi-million-dollar industry of live
Mer people,
right?
Yeah, there's a new Netflix special about that.
That's what it was. It was I read it. It was like some sort of documentary coming out that was chronicling this multi-million-dollar industry of mermaids, and like it showed this clip of this this one woman coming out and she was like all out of breath, and the person was like, okay, that hypothermia has creeped up on you. You were too into character, and she's like, yeah, it was. And I was like, well, I'm watching this. Yeah. So yeah, to answer your question, yes, that one time I did. Do I have a desire to do it again? Not so much. It did feel weird. I'm not gonna lie, but I will say that I got across the pool really quickly.
Were you locked into one fin?
Yeah, it was basically just a giant fin, which they have those mono fins.
The mono fins, yeah.
I even got the terminology now. Yeah, you don't have to put the glittery, scaly thing on, but you
Can you just put the glittery scaly thing?
Yes.
No, that's dangerous.
I think they call that a dress. And you can. Yeah, that's all I got.
I would love to. You know, I'm so curious because Jen and I took the kids after their school year ended to Mexico, and where we stayed had a gift shop, and there was a mermaid thing, but it was, I think, legit kid size. Odette hasn't used it yet, but she really wanted the mermaid fin, and so we bought it for her, but it like induced panic in me. I was like, well, if you lock her feet in together, that takes a certain level of coordination.
They literally had like dive shops and stuff. Instead of just like regular flippers,
Yeah.
they have a mono fin and you just slide your feet in. You don't have to do the whole thing. And it's
I'll give it a shot.
crazy how fast you can go.
I'll give it a shot.
It feels weird because you're used to doing this, but to do like
I feel like I'd be scared. Like I feel like I was drowning.
scared,
I don't know.
go up for air.
I can't. I fear a lot.
You don't need your feet to breathe.
It's like Houdini chains.
Jared's been down a long time. What? Oh, nope, there's his toe. He's breathing fine.
Yeah, it's like tall, so my toe reaches out. I'll watch that documentary. That's amazing. Thank you.
Thank you.
Is that it? Are we getting cold? All right. Apparently we've got a merman fitting.
Yeah.
So we're gonna.
And some photos.
Are you gonna do some more photos of that thing?
Of course.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It's legit. All right, guys. Thank you all very much. We'll see you in a bit.